Welcome to Shoestring Radio Theatre. We now present Part 1 of My Other Self, written by Bret Jones, directed by Alan Caylow, and produced by Monica Sullivan at the Ray of Light Theatre in San Francisco.
Have you ever experienced déjà vu? You know, those moments when you feel like you've been there before but can't quite place it exactly from your memory? The moment itself is quick, fleeting, yet disconcerting, isn't it? Isn't it? 3 months ago, I had that sensation and that strangeness when I was at work one day. I'm a car designer for Tetra. Yeah, you haven't heard of it, and if I had a buck every time someone told me that they hadn't, well... Tetra is a small company that works in experimental designs. You know the kind. New fuel source, safety features, automatic systems, global location, all of that. And much more. I wouldn't mention this feeling of déjà vu, only it was the first of many that would happen. Many before I would start to see things.
Morning, Willis. Cup of coffee? I have an extra.
Great, thanks.
Don't blame me if it's too strong.
Oh, it's not strong enough. I like it where a spoon can stand up in it.
Oh, you're the only one. Hooper waters hers down all day long.
Ugh. Oh well. If it's not strong, it's not worth drinking.
Have you worked out the equation yet?
Oh, close, but no. It always comes down to the fuel support. It's a great idea in theory, but making it practical...
And cheap.
No doubt. I've hit a wall.
Well, step away from it. We're in no hurry. Let me take a look. I like the coil concept.
And the hydrogen cell looks like it'll work. We're already using it to fuel a car.
You know, I don't get the generator you've got built into the design here.
It hit me last night. A magnetic field could be produced.
I see that. But why? I thought we were working on a programmable intelligence that would drive the vehicle.
We are, but it hit me.
What? New ideas cost money, Willis.
An AI system would be astronomical.
Today, maybe, but in 3 years?
Who knows?
Okay, what's this generator for?
Accident prevention.
Willis, please.
Take a look at the schematic, Brennan. Listen, what is still the biggest problem with personal transportation?
Besides fuel costs? Accidents.
Precisely. And how can we prevent them?
Our artificial intelligence matrix.
A possibility for the future when all the kinks are worked out with the AI tech. It's a long way off.
But what you have here isn't even beyond the theory stage.
If the sensors on the unit were programmed correctly, you could prevent every accident imaginable.
I can imagine quite a bit. I'll have you know.
Right before the point of impact, the vehicle generates a magnetic field. It acts as a force field, if you will, preventing the vehicle from making contact with whatever he or she was about to crash into.
Again, just a theory, and a pretty wild one at that.
And an AI isn't? Think about it, Brennan. No more collisions between drivers. No one-person accidents or hit and runs. Think of all the lives we could save.
A magnetic field?
Think about two equally charged magnets. They push off of one another. It's basically the same principle.
But you said it. The fuel source has to support the kind of energy needed to create a magnetic bubble long enough to keep the vehicle from crashing.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem.
Unless...
Yeah?
The system is going to generate lights, radio, phone, entertainment systems, and what have you, right? So it's a matter of creating the generator for the magnetic field that can reproduce the energy without draining the fuel source.
Whoa.
What?
Nothing. You know that feeling of déjà vu?
Yeah. We've done this before?
It sure feels like it. Weird. Everything you just said, I could almost say with you because it seemed like I heard you say it already.
Hello?
No one there. Odd.
You can't open a security door without a key card, but no one's there.
Nobody.
Well, maybe it's a ghost.
Maybe. Where were we?
Our perpetual motion machine.
Aha, very funny.
I think this could work.
I should have paid attention to that feeling. I should have thought more about the door opening on its own, but I was caught up in the moment of discovery. Both of us were. But what's the use of pontificating about scientific exploration? Situational ethics are a scientist's best friend. And I put this in practice better than anyone I know, even Brennan. Progress. The word leaves a bad taste in my mouth now. But the prospect of discovery outweighs any morality, code of honor, and, sadly, love. But we all know about hindsight, don't we? I learned it soon enough.
Still working. I thought we could grab some dinner.
What time is it?
Dinner time. Didn't you hear the sound of my voice?
Oh, I'm 1,000 miles away.
Let's go eat. You can tell me all about it.
I'm working on a scale model of the drive generator.
Okay, great. Will it still be there tomorrow?
You don't understand, Tia. We are so close to a breakthrough.
Who are you talking to here? Am I some grad student hooked up with a summer internship? I don't think so.
Sorry. Right. Food. Oh, I haven't eaten since breakfast.
Then, there you go. Where are you taking me?
Me? You asked me to dinner. Sounds like your treat.
I don't think so.
Huh. I thought you were liberated.
I am, but you're still buying dinner.
Let me grab my jacket.
Got it.
Let me shut this down.
Brennan's right behind me. He's wanting to put in some overtime.
You've got this all planned out.
That's right, I do. And I can't wait for the carriage ride in the park after dinner.
What carrot? Oh, right.
Let's go.
I haven't been outside at night in weeks.
That's why we're here. Does the phrase "you're working too hard" ring a bell?
You know the rush of possible discovery. Can you imagine the changes to transportation if this works?
I don't have to. You tell me about them every time I'm with you.
I know. Sorry.
And I am with you, Willis, aren't I?
What? Oh.
You've got to get out more. You really do. There's only so much of the stereotypical absent-minded professor a girl can take.
It's a rush. To think that we have the chance of removing all vehicular accidents, Tia. How many deaths are there a year because of them?
I don't happen to have that stat in my memory banks.
Oh, it sounds like science fiction, but so did the bomb and walking on the moon. It's the same thing. And we're very close.
Willis,
Yeah?
is there another subject in that brain of yours?
Oh, sorry.
Let's not talk for a while.
What? Oh, absolutely.
Much better.
I should have stayed with her in the carriage that night, but I couldn't. After a couple more blocks, I made an excuse and went back to the lab. And that strange feeling came on me again. And this time, I saw someone following me. Just out of the corner of my eye, as I was walking down the street, I saw him. Every time I got the courage to turn and face him down, he vanished. In my peripheral vision, I couldn't make out anything distinct, but something about him seemed so familiar.
Where have you been?
Out to dinner with Tia, you knew that.
I don't even know what day it is. Look.
What do you have?
How's that for ingenuity?
What am I looking at? Is this the repel units attached to the body of the vehicle?
Well, give the man a prize. Well, what do you think?
A foot apart?
The pulse of magnetic energy doesn't have to be sustained, in theory anyway, longer than a few seconds. If it's wired throughout the entire body of the car, it could cause trouble for anyone in the area, but not a part of the accident.
I like it.
Hello? There's no one there. Again. That's happening a lot these days. I guess I better tell the maintenance guys.
There's someone out there.
Willis! Willis! Hey!
That feeling of having been there and experiencing this chase came over me. I sped through the facility, but could only make out shadows just out of my reach. I didn't stop. Hey! But then, at the end of the corridor, thankfully, a security door to the warehouse section, which I didn't have access to. You might as well stop. You've run out of road. You might as well... I'd been working too hard. I knew that now. Tia was right. Why wasn't I with her? I could be sipping wine, looking at the moonlight. We hadn't done that in so... But there I stood, sucking air, waiting for our spy to show his face. And when he did, I thought I could only be hallucinating. The man who stepped out of the shadows was me. Who is it?
It's me, Willis.
I'm taking a couple of days off. I don't...
Stop being ridiculous, Willis, and open the door.
Brennan! Hey!
Open the door, Willis.
Please, Willis.
I'm not feeling well.
Well, we look foolish out here talking to a door. Let us in.
Willis!
You look horrible. Let us in.
What is wrong with you? We've both been calling you for 2 days now.
You heard me. I don't feel well.
This from a guy who couldn't get away from the lab to get a shave. Now what's going on? And shut the door.
Guys, listen. Hey, I appreciate you coming over, but...
Your kitchen is a disaster area. When was the last time you cleaned up around here?
No idea. You heard me. I haven't been feeling well.
Why? We are on the verge of a breakthrough at the lab and you suddenly disappear because you don't feel good. What's going on?
Where's your cleanser?
Tia, just... You don't have to clean up in there. Just leave it alone.
I'll find it myself.
Would you get her and just go?
What's gotten you all shook up? What happened the other night in the lab? You didn't even stick around to tell me.
Brennan, look, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Oh, right. So I wouldn't. Well, so what? You're the one who pulled me off my project to go down this road. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. What's got you? Are you having some sudden question of conscience? And why would you? We're doing a good thing.
Are we? Are we really?
You're the one who said so.
Are we fighting in there?
No.
Yes. And you don't want to be in here.
Fine, I've got this pit to clean up anyway.
It's just a feat of magnetism here, Willis. We're not rebuilding the atom bomb.
Are you so sure of that? Because I'm not anymore.
Well, why?
I just am. I've been rethinking things the past couple of days. That's why I haven't been in.
You can rethink it with me in the laboratory. That's what we're there for.
You don't understand.
Well, that's the knock on the door.
Do me a favor. Just get out. Give me some time.
You had 2 days.
Boys, it's getting hard to think in here over the yelling.
Tia, look, please. Brennan, please, just go. I refuse to explain anything. I have my reasons for staying away from work and the project.
Willis.
Just get out of here. How can I make it any plainer?
You just did.
Brilliant, Willis. Has anyone told you that lately?
Brennan.
No. You're a genius. You're really a genius.
How do you explain to your partner and someone who loves you that you saw another version of yourself lurking in the dark? Another great stereotype of the scientist, the mad scientist, pushing the boundaries of common sense and the laws of nature begin to unravel. I refused to set myself up for that. I locked myself away to, as ridiculous as it sounds, keep away from myself, or that other version of myself. What had I seen? I wasn't dreaming, and I wasn't weary to the point of hallucinating. What had I seen? Theories from science fiction filled my mind. A version of me from the future, a ghost of myself. I guessed, but couldn't fathom an answer. And just as soon as the other self appeared, I, disappeared into the shadows of the warehouse section of the facility. But I couldn't stay locked away forever. It would keep me away from all the possible discoveries. Hello? Brennan? Brennan? What have you been up to? Oh, hello there. Very interesting. Hey. Hello? Who's there?
Boo!
Ah! Don't do that!
And hello to you too. Oh, what are you doing here? I thought you were done with this.
I'm not done with anything. I just needed...
Never mind. Explain later. You've been digging in my research?
Whose research?
Well, what do you think?
I think it's possible.
You do?
Very possible. It looks great.
You think so?
Absolutely. I think we need to build a test model.
Isn't it too early?
Are you kidding? I think you cracked it.
I think so too, Willis.
Let's get an area cleared in here.
I'll get maintenance here pronto.
Good. Where's Tia? What?
I wouldn't bother.
Why's that?
Willis, come on. I think it's best if you just focus on this project again.
Oh, I made a mess of things, didn't I?
Understatements are made all the time, but I think that one is probably the biggest I've heard in quite a while.
She won't speak to me.
Well, putting it mildly. Let's get to work.
And so, for 2 weeks, I practically lived in the lab. I even took most of my meals there as I was afraid of venturing outside the door, as I was fearful of running into myself again. It sounds so odd saying it. My other self. Surely something in science could explain, right? I didn't pursue it. I didn't have the time. Our work on the magnetic field generator became the talk of development, and then the board of directors got wind of it, and we received additional funding to continue our work. And Tia, well, not only was she not speaking to me, she avoided me altogether. I wanted to say something, but now it doesn't matter.
Did you see the look on their faces?
Unbelievable! We're funded for the next 2 years!
We should have it within 6 months at the rate we're working.
Sooner.
You think so?
You better believe it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Tia.
Hey, girl. Come on in here and have a drink.
I heard the news. Congrats.
Thanks. Have some bubbly.
No, that's all right. I've got work to do.
It's just a little champagne. Come on.
No, really. Thanks, though. I just wanted to stop by and congratulate you on the funding.
Tia.
I wish you all the best.
Tia.
You blew it, man. I tried to tell you.
So I freaked out a little.
A little?
I was working too hard.
Here, drown your sorrows.
Fill it to the top.
That concludes Part 1 of My Other Self, written by Bret Jones, directed by Alan Caylow, and produced by Monica Sullivan at the Ray of Light Theatre in San Francisco. It starred Seth Adam Sher, Jonathan W. Wind, and Annette Oliveira. Our co-producer was Steve Rubenstein, and our senior associate producer was Alan Caylow. You can write us care of our producer, Monica Sullivan, at srt@shoestring.org. For more information on Shoestring, visit our website at www.shoestring.org. For Shoestring Radio Theatre, I'm Alan Caylow. Thank you for listening. Welcome to Shoestring Radio Theatre. We now present Part 2 of My Other Self, written by Bret Jones, directed by Alan Caylow, and produced by Monica Sullivan at the Ray of Light Theatre in San Francisco. The story so far. A car designer and scientist named Willis, with the aid of his two colleagues Brennan and Tia, has just created an invention that will revolutionize the car industry. A force field generator for automobiles that will prevent accidents and save millions of lives. Unfortunately, Willis is unable to enjoy his newfound success because of one small problem. He's noticed that a doppelganger of himself is following him everywhere he goes. And now the conclusion of My Other Self.
For 2 weeks, all seemed well again, except for Tia. But no more hallucinations, no more seeing things. How can I describe just how unnerving that all was? Now I could focus my frustration and new funding on the problem of the magnetic field generator.
I don't like it. It's too slow. We need a pulse.
I know what we need. I just can't give it to you. Not yet, anyway.
We need a vector field that can push against the other object without damaging the other object, but also doesn't propel the vehicle away from the object and hurt someone.
This isn't physics class, Brennan. I know what's needed.
I thought I'd remind you. I wasn't planning on spending some of our grant money on fixing the gaping hole in the side of the lab.
One test. It was one test.
Okay. Cool your jets there.
Let me try something.
Oh, what do you have now?
I think I can kick out a stronger vector field.
A new calculation?
I'm thinking about the Earth's own magnetic field.
Dynamo theory?
Something like that. I want to try a different rotation with the motor.
Do it.
I am. I think I can give you the pulse you've been asking for.
Show me.
Okay. In 3. 3, 2, 1.
What? Get out! Get down!
You hit the torch!
Well, Willis, you got it cranked up enough.
Very funny.
You know, that's coming out of your part of the grant. I'll have you know.
Whoa.
What?
That's it.
Look around you, bud. You're blowing out all the glass in the lab.
Too much energy, but the computer recorded the field.
Is it right?
A sphere.
All right. Well, fantastic. Let me call maintenance and get the glass out of here so we can do it again. This time with a lower vector.
And so he did. And I went home. My last few moments of elation taken away by my other self. Hey, man. Wouldn't walk so close to the edge of the highway if I were you. Fella? No! 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 Leave me alone! Go away! Who are you? I saw myself on the other side of the road 2 more times on the way home. I shot into my apartment and locked everything up tight. The door, windows, any conceivable way of getting into my place. I didn't sleep that night. In every shadow of the dark, I saw my own face. I buried my face in a pillow, but the image wouldn't go away. I began to see my other self everywhere I went. The grocery store, the park, at work again, on the side of the road. I even passed my other self in another car on the way to work one morning. I'm not sure how I managed that. This time, I refused to lock myself away. I went to work. I plunged headlong into making every calculation count. I prepared myself for discovery. It was only around the corner. Ow! Hey!
Well, I feel better.
That hurt, Tia.
It was supposed to.
Hey, so you're just gonna leave?
I thought so, yes. And if you ask me why I hit you, I'll do it again.
I know why.
Good. Don't say you're sorry.
I wasn't going to.
Even better. I'm not interested in seeing you anymore.
I figured that.
You're a genius, you know that?
Brennan thinks so.
Wonderful. Have fun with each other.
I don't guess I get to give some kind of explanation.
2 weeks. 2 whole weeks, Willis. Not one word. I would use a word like decency, but it would fall on deaf ears. And do not pull that stupid obsessed scientist routine on me. I've heard that one before.
Tia, hey.
Do not follow me.
Something is happening to me.
That's right. I'm leaving, and there won't be any second chances.
Tia.
Don't grab at me. I'm not some woman to be grabbed at.
Tia, please. People are watching.
Let them. Let me pass, Willis, or this is going to get ugly for you.
Would you shut up a minute? Come here.
You are 3 seconds away from a broken nose.
I'm seeing myself.
Pretty lame for an apology.
I'm serious. I've been seeing me lately, or another version of me. I'm not sure.
It's called a mirror. We have those things now.
I'm deadly serious, Tia. I don't know what's going on. That's why I locked myself away. That's why I've been distant from you.
And the next thing you're going to tell me is it all started when you started working on the magnetic generator.
Yes.
I'm out of here.
No, don't. It's worse now. I'm seeing whatever it is wherever I go. I jump every time the door to the lab opens. I see him when I go home. He's all over the place.
Willis, all joking aside, we do have a therapist.
I don't need one. I'm not crazy.
Well, why haven't I seen him, huh?
I don't know.
She's good, the therapist. At least that's what I've been told. She understands the demands of the company and their expectations of producing marketable work.
Tia, please, believe me on this.
Willis.
I need you to. You have to.
No, I don't, and I won't. A week ago, maybe, but now, forget it. Go and get some help with your hallucinations.
They're not hallucinations. Do we ever really listen to each other anymore? Tia and I weren't. It was one of the last real conversations that we had with each other. Whoever said life is filled with second chances doesn't know Tia. I dreamed of me, that other me, floating around in the ether. I saw him move his mouth, but heard no words. He appeared older somehow, with gray at the temples and sadness in his eyes. But it was only a dream, wasn't it? I saw my other self so often now I almost ignored him. He would appear in the lab by our test model with a grief-stricken look on his face. When I dared say anything, he vanished through the wall. I saw him outside the lab facility as if waiting for something. I would drive by, hardly acknowledging him, until the day he pointed at the building. When I hit the brakes, he'd gone. His manifestations were localized to the lab facility now. I never saw him in my home. And then it happened. The hand pointing turned into words.
That isn't it, Willis. Where's your head on this thing?
Don't get cranky with me.
We just got the glass replaced, and that set us back 3 days. I'm in no mood to do it again.
It's Basic Principles of Magnetism 101.
Great. So now I'm back in school with you.
It's not just the electrical pulse that creates the magnetic field.
I realize that. It's also the materials receiving that pulse. We have fixed that problem.
I know that. And the flux of the magnetic field is still off.
By just a bit. Your accident got us closer.
Yeah, but what we've done is cause the generator to produce hundreds of tiny magnetic fields.
And we've been over that too, Willis. It's better for the energy output as the vehicle responds to whatever is nearing collision.
We needed to go with the idea of creating one bubble of energy around the vehicle.
It will drain the power cells dry as dust. You saw the computer model on that.
But we're dealing with diamagnetism, repulsion of objects.
Okay.
But we're taking the permeability of the magnetic materials for granted. They can't support the energy pulse individually. That's why the pulse produced the unstable bubbles and blew out the glass.
So, we need to replace the magnets then. I get it. And I love you. I could kiss you.
Get away from me.
That's why we keep you around.
Among other things.
I can't believe it's as simple as that. I'll order the new magnets per your specs. Man, is that the time? I'm starved. Let's go grab a bite to eat.
I'll catch up with you. Let me enter this in my notes.
Great. Well, what do you want?
Yeah, the usual.
Great. This is wonderful, Willis. Awesome.
Permeability is now a concern. We'll switch out the magnetic material and try another test with our pulse generator. I'm right behind you, Brennan. Give me a sec. Calibration of the energy should create a solid bubble of magnetized particles, creating a field. That is the answer, you know. If I turn around, you won't be there. Do you hear me? You won't be there. Then maybe you shouldn't turn around. Because I am here. You're not there. You're not. Tia's right. You're a hallucination, a figment of my imagination. Whatever I am is really immaterial at this point. You are about to do something horrible. What are you talking about? Who are you? I thought that was pretty obvious. What is this? Some kind of time travel? I don't think so. Are you my conscience? I didn't know we had one. Not when it comes to this. Get away from me! What do you want? You've been following me around for weeks now, and suddenly you decide you want to have a chat? I haven't been following you. I am merely drawn or repelled from you. It's really beyond my control. That's ridiculous. And so is what you are doing. The calculations you made are correct. This is going to work. I know that. That's all you stopped by for. Thanks. You can hit the road now. I'm asking you not to do it. Why? I create some rip in the space-time continuum? I blow myself up along with everyone else here in the lab and you're my own ghost haunting me? Huh? What is it that I do? I don't know. Oh, that's beautiful. That's just great. Then what good are you? You've come to warn me that I'm about to make a terrible step in the name of science, but you can't tell me what? Get out of here. You have to understand I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I am. Am I a ghost? From the future? I just don't know, but I do know one thing. I am here to warn you off this project. Something dreadful is going to happen. but you can't say what. I don't know what. That's not good enough to stop a major multi-million-dollar experiment. You do hear what you're telling me. Every word. I live this horror every time I appear. I know something awful is going to happen, but I don't know what. But you can't do this. You can't stop me. No. I'm not even sure of my physical presence here. I can't even hypothesize about it. Good. Then you can go away. I can count myself fairly warned. By myself. Willis. Tia! Thank goodness! Tia, do you see him?
What are you talking about? Brennan asked me to check on you and tell you he's already eating.
Do you see him?
Who?
Me!
Of course I see you.
Not me, him! That other me! He's right over there in front of the terminal.
All right, Willis. All right. Calm down. Let me call a medic unit. You're upset.
You better believe I'm upset, but not in the way you think. Get out of my way! And that was it. The last I saw of him. Me. After an initial interview with a lab psychiatrist, I got back to work. Tia, thinking she was doing me a favor, filed a report. Thus, the interview with the head shrinker. I was ordered to go in for mandatory meetings every 2 weeks. Tia and I don't speak anymore. And, warning or not, I was determined to let science have the last word on all of it. And, one day, it did.
Turn the unit on.
It's on. Will the permeability work?
That's what experimentation is for.
I'm ready for a pulse.
Let the magnets sink first. There's something we'll obviously have to fix. This is supposed to work in a split second.
One step at a time. Let's get the kinks worked out on the generator.
Right.
We're aligned.
Do it.
Have you ever experienced deja vu? You know, those moments when you feel like you've been there before but can't quite place it exactly from your memory? The moment itself is quick, fleeting, yet disconcerting, isn't it? Isn't it? 3 months ago, I had that sensation and that strangeness when I was at work one day. I'm a car designer for Tetra. Wait, have I told you that already? There it is again. That sense of deja vu. I think I've already said this to you already. Haven't I? Well, whatever. It's more than just that. I have to tell you, confide in you. I'm seeing things. Well, not actually things, but people. Well, not actually people, but me. I'm seeing myself all over the place. And I'm not sure what he wants. He won't tell me. Or I worked too long on the project to know what's real and what isn't. I really don't know. One thing I do know. My other self that I see is haunting me. He doesn't speak. He only watches. And I have no idea what he wants.
That concludes My Other Self, written by Bret Jones, directed by Alan Caylow, and produced by Monica Sullivan at the Ray of Light Theatre in San Francisco. It starred Seth Adam Sher, Jonathan W. Wynn, and Annette Oliveira. Our co-producer was Steve Rubenstein, and our senior associate producer was Alan Caylow. You can write us care of our producer, Monica Sullivan, at srt@shoestring.org. For more information on Shoestring, visit our website at www.shoestring.org. For Shoestring Radio Theatre, I'm Alan Caylow. Thank you for listening.